object, the flowers that she touches, become imbued and saturated with her Mahabhav. Later, Radharani makes that mala, she gives it to Brindadevi. Brindadevi brings that mala in a special basket to give to Krishna. And she comes before Krishna and says, this is a Vaijayanti mala strung by your Radha. So when Krishna takes the mala, he touches to his forehead, oh, my Swamini Radha, my Ishwari Radha. She has strung this garland for me. It's so special, it's so sacred. Then, when Krishna smells that Vaijayanti mala strung by Radharani, Madhura, Mala Madhura, he goes into ecstasy. He has sattvic vikara. He trembles, romancha, vepatu, romancha. He trembles, his ashru, he cries, his hair stands on end. Because of smelling a garland? Because of smelling a flower garland? No, because of smelling and experiencing the love of Radharani. Mala Madhura, that love is in the mala. Radharani's love is woven in the mala. It's actually a garland of love, Mahabhav. So therefore, that's what makes Mala Madhura. That Krishna's mala is very sweet, sweet with the Mahabhav of Radharani, sweet with the fragrance of Radharani's Padma Pani, her lotus hands. So this is being glorified here. Gunja Madhura Mala Madhura. Yamuna Madhura Vichi Madhura. It says his garland is sweet. Krishna's Yamuna river is sweet. It's so sweet. When you drink the Yamuna water, the water is sweet. When we first came to Vrindavan 40 years ago, 1977, we drank the Yamuna water with our hands. It's very sweet and very clear and pure. And over time, Kaliya serpent has come inside. The Kaliya Sarp has come inside. Naya, the Nava Kaliya avatar. The Naya Kaliya has come inside the Yamuna. Now so much disturbance in the sweetness of Yamuna. Because people's minds are not sweet. And their activities are not sweet. So now the water is becoming not sweet. Yamuna Madhura. Yamuna is sweet because of her love for Krishna. She moves to please Krishna. She has waves to please Krishna. When Krishna looks at the waves, Taranga and the Yamuna, then he thinks of Radharani's moods. He sits by the Yamuna and plays his flute. In his moments of reverie, remembering Radha, and sees the gentle waves and thinks, oh, this Yamuna is clothed, this Yamuna is wearing a dark dress, Nilambari, or dark water. And my Radharani wears a dark dress, Nilambari sari. And these waves are the moods, the bhavas of my Radharani. Avahita bhav. She covers her feelings of love. Many, many types of bhavas I'm seeing. And sometimes the waves in Yamuna, they make some crash and make some foam. And then Krishna thinks, oh, Yamuna is smiling. This white foam on the Yamuna waters from her waves, Yamuna is smiling or laughing. Is Radharani laughing at me? Nilambari Radha is laughing at me? And then he thinks, no. He's playing his flute. Yamuna Madhura. Then again he sees Yamuna meandering like this. And he sees, oh, this is the Beni of my Radha. This is the beautiful hair braid of my Radha. So glistening, so dark, so black and beautiful and shining and glimmering and soft and attractive. I will brush this Yamuna Madhura, as if I'm brushing Radharani's Beni. And these banks of the Yamuna, the banks, the high Tata, Yamuna Tata, reminds me of Radharani's beautiful Nitamba, her hips, and her braid, her Beni goes down her back and hangs between her hips. So the Yamuna is so sweet, because when I see the Yamuna, it reminds me of my Radha, her beautiful long black hair, her beautiful form, and I feel so happy and satisfied just by seeing Yamuna Devi. And then when we're thirsty, we come with the cows and we drink the waters. First I bring the cows down. I say, Niri, 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 Tiri, Tiri, Shun, Shun. Come, O cows, come near, come near. Come down the bank and drink the water of the Yamuna. So then Hamshi comes, Davali, Chandani, Saraswati, all the cows come, all my mothers come, and they drink these sweet waters, Yamuna Madhura. My cows feel so happy. Then the boys, we drink the water after our bhojan and feel so relieved and happy. Then we play in the Yamuna. So many pastimes, so many sportings. We run up in the boys, we run up in the trees, then the monkeys jump, then we jump after them and fall in the water. Or sometimes a frog is on the bank of the Yamuna, and we make a face or a noise, and the frog jumps in the Yamuna, and we jump in the Yamuna after. All these things, all these pastimes, Yamuna provides for us. And sometimes, after Ras Leela, I've been dancing for hours with the Gopis, and we feel so tired, so exhausted. So we come to Yamunaji, and we take shelter, and we bathe here. Radha and myself and all the Gopis, and we feel so much relieved and so much happy. Yamuna Madhura. This is my Yamuna. And I love Yamuna. Even I go to the spiritual world when I leave these pastimes and become apricot. But I will leave Yamuna here. And I will leave Giriraj here. And I will leave the Brajaraj. One expansion. So that everyone can take advantage. Bathing in Yamuna, worshipping Giriraj, having darshan, prikrama, rolling in the dust, worshipping the Brajaraj, Rainur Madhura. So the Yamuna is so sweet. Yamuna Madhura, Vichi Madhura. Krishna's Yamuna is sweet. Her waves, water, and lotuses are very sweet. Salila means the waves, and Kamala means the lotus flowers. We heard in the beginning of Ras Leela about the Kumudvantam, Akanda Mandalam Kumudvantam, that under the influence of the full moon on the night of Sharad, then the Kumud, the Komodaki, the white lotus flowers blossom at midnight. Very extraordinary. You'll not find anywhere in the world. Lotus flowers are growing in Thailand, Hawaii, India, Bali, all tropical places. But nowhere do lotus flowers blossom at night, at midnight, only in the day. But in our Vrindavan, they blossom at midnight. Why? For Krishna's happiness, for Krishna's pleasure, and to heighten his ecstasy on the Ras Leela night. He sees the Kumudvantam in the Yamuna, Yamuna Madhura, and he thinks, oh, that beautiful Gauri, that beautiful Shama, that Gauri Radha, her beautiful fair face is like a lotus, tender, soft, moist, and fragrant. And I'm seeing that her face in the Yamuna, and that Yamuna is dark like me, and her face is light like her. So the Yamuna again provides a sweet memory. Yamuna Madhura, a sweet reminiscence, a sweet reminder of what's about to happen, that Radharani will come to the bank of the Yamuna and meet Krishna there. And they will dance and dance and dance throughout the night besides the Yamuna. Madhuradi pater akilam madhuram. Text 7. Gopi madhura, lila madhura, yuktam madhuram, bhuktam madhuram, rishtam madhuram, shlishtam madhuram, madhuradi pater akilam madhuram. Gopi madhura. Krishna's gopis are very sweet. They are his Madhurya Mai partners. And Madhurya Ras, the gopis are the source of Krishna's sweetness. You have a gulab jamun, but without the sugar, it's not sweet. You have rasgulla, but without the sugar, it's not sweet. You have rabri, but without the sugar, it's not sweet. You have ice cream, minus the sugar, it's not sweet. So if you have Krishna without gopis, he is not sweet. He's Maryada, he's Ram, he's Vishnu. But Krishna plus gopis makes Madhurya Purushottam. The source of the sweetness in Sham is Madhuri Radha. Her love, her attachment, her service, her dedication. There's nothing sweeter. If someone has a beloved in his life, dedicated, surrendered, committed, submissive, kind, warm, and caring and affectionate, that is sweetness. The woman adds sweetness to a man's life. Gentleness and tenderness and the soft side of life. So the gopis, Gopi Madhura, the gopis are very sweet. Not only sweet, but the source of Krishna's sweetness. Madhurya Purushottam. The active principle in all sweets is sugar. So the active principle in Krishna's sweetness is Radharani and the gopis, who are all expansions of her. Because you take milk and then sugar and make so many expansions from that milk and sugar, and what do you have? Rabri, rasgulla, burfi, etc. Ice cream. So the sugar is the sweetness of Radha, and the various forms of milk or various forms of Radharani expanded as different gopis. Kayavyuha gopis, Yashasakis. She is the origin of the sweet. She is that essence of all the gopis, which is sweet. And they have all different forms, which is variegated forms of milk to make rabri and rasmalai and rasgulla, sweet rice, ice cream, kefir, etc. Whatever sweet you can imagine. Gopi Madhura, Sakis, gopis, Madhurya Mai Radha. Sweetness personified. We say that the Gaudiya Vaishnavas worship the sweetness within Krishna, not the Aishvarya or the grandeur, the power, the pomp, the omnipotence, but the sweetness, the sweet leelas, the sweet dealings, the sweet speech, and ultimately the source of his sweetness, the Gaudiyas worship Radharani, the sweetest of the sweet. Gopi Madhura. Lila Madhura. This is Krishna's characteristic. Rupa Goswami says this is one of his main qualities. Lila Madhurya. His pastimes were so sweet. Because they always have happy endings. Something sweet makes you happy from beginning to end. If you have a rasgulla, the first bite is sweet, the middle bite is sweet, and the last bite is sweet. and then you want to have another one, more sweet. The Krishna's Leela Madhura. His Leelas are very sweet. The beginning of his Leela, the middle of his Leela, the conclusion. A Rakshas, a demon, comes to kill Krishna, and Krishna smiles. He's wearing a garland. He plays with them in a sweet way. He jokes with them. He runs behind them, pulls their tail, spins them around, walks in their mouth, jumps up and down, comes out. And then when it's all said and done, he liberates them. He loves them eternally in one of his forms. So the sweet ending. Madhuram samapayat. Madhuram samapayat. Payat. Means the ending should be sweet. This is a law of Sanskrit drama, natyam. It should end on a sweet note. Modern movies, oftentimes the hero gets shot or the heroine dies or something. Anticlimactic movies. Instead of a wonderful, sweet, happy ending climax, it becomes something of a twisted ending, surprise ending. That's considered artistic. But it's not acceptable in Vedic culture. Everything should end on a sweet note. No meal is complete without a sweet. So no drama is complete without a sweet ending. So Leela Madhura. Krishna's birth is sweet. Earth was plagued by tyranny and atheists, heavy burden. People were hiding in fear, and cows were slaughtered, babies were slaughtered. Sounds familiar to the modern time. Under Kansa's rule, babies were being slaughtered, like now. Under Kansa's rules, cows were being slaughtered, like now. And Krishna came and stopped all the bitterness of murder, and stopped all the sour activities of cheating and lying and fear. He created sweetness in nature, and sweetness in people's minds, and sweetness in society. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhutanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyam. So Krishna's Janamotsav in Bhagavatam, very happy time for everyone, very sweet time. Ugrasen, the father of King Kans, was unjustly arrested by his son and locked in prison and tortured by his son. Krishna released him and honored him as the king of Mathura, worshipped him, restored him to his grandeur. And that wicked, Gnostic, atheist Kamsa was disposed of by his bad karma. Leela Madhura. So Krishna's growing up is sweet, his stealing is sweet, his Ras Leela is sweet, everything is sweet about Krishna. Leela means interaction with God and his devotees. Sweet dealings, because the basis is love. The characteristic of love is sweetness. And Krishna's Leela is Madhurya Leela, Leela Purushottam. So the very characteristic of Krishna is he's the Lord of sweetness. So Leela Madhura, through all his pastimes, with his parishads, these are eternal associates, or with conditioned souls, are very sweet. If God enters one's life, if Krishna enters one's life, one may be a sadhaka, a practitioner of bhakti yoga, the yoga of love. Bhakti yoga means the yoga of sweetness, the yoga of love, the yoga of loving sweetness. Because the Ishta in bhakti yoga is the Lord of sweet love, Madhurya Purushottam. So when one worships Madhurya Purushottam, Leela Madhura, then his actions, his Leela, you can't say exactly Leela, but his movements, his exchanges, his interactions with the Lord of sweet love, Krishna, become very sweet. His life takes on a sweet turn. A frown becomes a smile. The teardrops on the face dry up. The tension in the mind disappears. And the sadness in the heart is replaced by fulfillment and joy and encouragement. A hope to live, a hope of the future. This is a sweet touch of God, of Krishna in one's life. So Leela means the interactions with his devotees, his pastimes. But Krishna's pastimes are going on eternally with everyone. Shristi Leela. And with every jiva is a part of God. We're meant to enjoy with God, to serve with God, live with God, and love with God. Love God and receive God's love. A life of love, a life of sweetness, a life with Krishna. Leela Madhura. But when we turn our backs on Krishna, we say, no thank you, I'm busy, I have my own program, then life is a struggle. Prakriti stanikarshati. A very great struggle. Tension, anxiety, bitterness. But Leela Madhura, Leela Purushottam, Madhurya Purushottam, he's inviting everyone. You want Leela Madhura, you want sweet life, you want sweet pastimes, you want happiness and joy. Surrender. Turn to me. Embrace me. Leela. Leela, the acharyas, they analyze this word Leela, Krishna Leela. Makanchor Leela. Leela. Lee means Prem Alingata. Lee. Prem Alingata. A warm, deep embrace of loving security, fulfillment, and happiness. La means to lay low, la, to accept. So Krishna is offering Leela Madhura, Leela Madhura, he's offering to everyone. Accept my embrace, accept the embrace of God. Return his embrace with your own embrace. We embrace God by embracing the principle of surrender. We embrace God by accepting his teachings and surrendering to them and following them. We embrace God by living a life of love centered on pleasing and satisfying God, Sri Krishna, the sweet Lord of divine love. The sweet Lord of divine love and play. Krishna is playing throughout the day, morning, noon, or night. He's only playing. You read anywhere where Krishna is working? Vrindavan, Krishna doesn't work. In Dwarka, Krishna goes to work. Every morning he goes to Siddharma Assembly House and he appears to do some legislation and political activities there. He appears to work in Kurukshetra, working as a chariot driver, following the commands of Arjuna. But in Vrindavan, Krishna only plays, following the whims of his heart and the cares of his mind. So we worship Vrindavan Sri Krishna, Leela Madhura, and his pastimes are so sweet. Only Leela, only play, from day to night. Yuktam Madhuram. Yuktam Madhuram, his paraphernalia and ornaments are very sweet. Everything that's connected with Krishna is sweet and personal. Krishna's ornaments have names. His bracelets, his flute has a name, Murali. It's the name of a Sakhi, Murali Sakhi, or Vamshi Sakhi, or Venu is a masculine name. And they have personality, and they have an intimate connection with Krishna. He has a mala, it's called Vaijayanti Mala. And he has necklaces, everything has some name, because it's personal. They have their own characteristics. And they enhance Krishna's pastimes. Yuktam Madhura, those ornaments and paraphernalia that are connected with Krishna. It includes not only his ornaments and decorations, but even his pet animals. Krishna has pet animals also, and they have names. a pet bull, a pet cow, a pet deer, a pet peacock, tundikari, and all different names they have. It's sweet, personal. Vrishtam Madaram. Oh no, excuse me, Bhuktam Madaram. His food is sweet. We discussed this also, we mentioned before. His food is very sweet. Sweet to look at. When we worship Krishna, even in Nitya Leela, Krishna's eternal pastimes, in the morning time, Radharani and all the Sakhis come to Nandagram to cook Krishna's breakfast. Then they make very nice arrangements on the dining room table, a raised table. They arrange all the rice, mountains of rice with ghee floating on it, and then so many fruits and sweets. Very beautiful arrangement. Then Mother Yashoda comes and she inspects the preparations. And she said, "Oh, Rohini, who has made all these wonderful preparations so beautifully adorned on this table and such beautiful designs?" Rohini Ma says, "Oh, that's none other than your Radharani. Radharani has made such a beautiful offering for Krishna's breakfast. This is his bhog offering, his nashta. 7 o'clock in the morning in Nandagram. It's told in our Shastras. So very attractively, it says that Radharani arranges, puts the sweets in this place and the water cups here, and everything very, very beautiful. So it looks very sweet arrangement. And in the mandirs, when we worship Krishna, we often offer chapan bhog in front of the Lord. And then the curtains are closed and everyone leaves the temple and Krishna enjoys his offering, bhuktam, bhog offering. Then later, the curtains are open and all the yatris and devotees come to have bhog darshan. They come to have darshan of Krishna's chapan bhog, his remnants. And why do people come for darshan? To appreciate the beauty of the offering, to appreciate the varieties of the offerings. So much pakka bhog, samosas and namkeen and sweets and rice. Very, very beautiful arrangement. Everywhere in India, go to Nathdwara or Babaji or any temple, they often give bhog darshan to the yatris and bhaktas. See how sweetly the Lord is being worshipped. See how sweetly the Lord is enjoying bhuktam madaram. Just to see the bhog of the Lord is sweet darshan. Then if we get Mahaprasadam, Jagannath Mahaprasadam, Nathji Mahaprasadam, then how much sweetness you can appreciate yourself. People appreciate that the taste of Krishna's food from the temple is much more superior than what my wife makes at home. My own wife, who loves me so much, she cooks the same thing. But when I go to the temple and eat the same preparation, it tastes so much better. Because it's special, mixed with all that sweetness of Krishna's mood of enjoying. Because everyone's cooking for Krishna's pleasure, not the pleasure of their husband or family, the pujaris. So the prasadam takes on a very extraordinary sweet taste and sweet effect. If the husband eats wonderful food cooked by his wife, he feels happy, he feels satisfied. It increases his attachment to his wife. But when one takes the sweet food of Krishna, Mahaprasad, that increases his attachment to God, not his attachment to his wife. And that fills him with spiritual satisfaction and appreciation for God. He becomes pure. He actually becomes detached. We've seen bhuktam madaram, we've seen people take prasad and become detached from the material world. We met many people in India, they're accustomed to taking non-veg and taking onions and garlic. And so we would visit them come to their house and bring them Mahaprasad from the temple once a week. I have many examples. And gradually, as we're giving them Mahaprasad every week, the people would say, husbands and wives, "Oh, Swamiji, we've become vegetarians. Something has happened to us just by taking this Mahaprasadam. We've decided we should become vegetarians." I said, very nice, that's a sweet prabhav, Madhur prabhav, the sweet effect of Krishna's prasad, His mercy, His grace. Bhuktam madara. And then as they take more Mahaprasadam, "Oh, Swamiji, you'll be pleased to know that we gave up onions and garlic. We no longer we like so much this Mahaprasad. In fact, now we're cooking in our house and offering all our food to Thakurji, to one picture of Radha and Krishna. And every day we're taking Mahaprasad." It's amazing how much sweetness is there. People will tell me. So this is the effect, the sight of Mahaprasad, the taste of Mahaprasad. And when Krishna takes the Mahaprasad, Bhuktam Madhuram, again, it's touched by Radharani, it's cooked by Radharani, full of her love, full of her dedication. And then when Krishna takes that, oh, it's so sweet. Is Krishna tasting the food itself or the sweetness in the food? It's a sweet taste in the food. And what makes the food taste so sweet is Radharani's love. Bhuktam Madhuram. So the ultimate sweetness of Krishna's repast or food is the love of Radharani, which is mixed in it. The acharyas say, why did Krishna steal butter in Gokul Leela? He had thousands and thousands of cows. Nanda Maharaj had 9 lakhs of cows. There was so much milk flowing from the Goshala, it was coming out in nadis and running through the town, and whole nalis, you can say, gutters full of milk. Because the cows, they were milking the cows, and the milk was coming out faster than they could move the buckets. They put a bucket under the cow, and they're milking him, but by the time they change buckets, already 5 liters goes down. Not only that, as soon as Krishna started walking towards the Goshala, the cows started releasing milk. They were so happy and joyous. No shortage of milk. So many servants and dasis in Nanda Maharaj's palace, making hundreds of kilos of ghee and butter every day. But yet the Yuvaraj, the prince, Krishna, is crawling next door to some elderly gopi's house to steal her butter and yogurt at 5 o'clock in the morning, when little children should be sleeping tightly in their beds. Why? Because of scarcity in his house? Because he was hungry? He was so hungry that he ran out of his house to steal some butter? No. He went to those houses, Makanchor Sri Krishna, to relish the sweetness of the gopis' love. The sweetness, the madhuram, the gopis' madhuram, vatsalya madhuram, the sweetness of their motherly love, and the sweetness of their desire to please Krishna and satisfy Krishna was packed in every single turn of the churning rope. In the morning, at 4 o'clock in the morning, and the gopis churning the yogurt into butter, and the rope is tied around one churning rod, and that's tied around a pillar, and she's going 1, 2, every turn of that rope as it's churning is her love. Madhura mathura. Mat. The churning of that wooden churning mortar is actually her heart. The churning rod is the heart of that gopi. And she's praying, "Oh Krishna, I'm making this butter for you. Please come and steal this butter. Please come and steal my heart." So Krishna's thinking in the morning when he left his house, which gopi has put the most love in her offering? Which gopi has churned her yogurt with the most love this morning? Let me see. Oh yeah, I feel so much love coming from this elderly gopi. So then Krishna goes to her house, not to steal butter or yogurt, to steal love, to take her love. And that's what makes it the bhuktam madhuram. That's what makes it so sweet. Everything becomes sweet if love is there. They say you can go to hell if you have a friend to go with. But even if you're in heaven with no friends, heaven becomes hell. You go to heaven and have no friends, only a kela, then that heaven becomes hell. But if you go to hell and you have a friend, then you're in heaven. So if love is there, no matter how difficult life is, the sweetness and satisfaction and fulfillment of love will carry you through and give a sweet overtone to the whole life. So Krishna's sweetness, he experiences sweetness in his food. Bhuktam madhuram. Rishtam madhuram. His delights are sweet. His play, his delight, rishtam. Then shlishtam madhuram. His embrace. Ashlishyava paratam panashtamam. Ashlishya. Shlishtam means embrace. Krishna's embrace is very sweet. One can only say that if they've been embraced by Krishna. No one can say God's embrace is very sweet. But Acharya Vallabhacharya, he can say, yes, that Krishna's shlishtam madhuram, his embrace is very sweet. I felt his embrace. I went to Gokul, and Krishna came from behind the tree. He came behind me and he embraced me. Then he laughed and covered my eyes and said, "Who is it? Oh, who is it? Who is it?" And then he ran around in the front and embraced me again. So one who has felt the embrace of Krishna, he realizes how sweet it is. How sweet it is. Shlishtam madhuram. Bilvamangala Thakur and Krishna Karnamritam. He says, because Bilvamangala, he went blind by choice.